Hermes tricks the gods and other Greek myths. Hermes tricks the gods and two loves of Apollo and halcyon days. By Geraldine McCaughrean, illustrated by Tony Ross. Hermes tricks the gods. The gods never grow old. Take Hermes. He is 17 for all eternity, and the other gods never let him forget it. Fetch this, Hermes. Do that, Hermes. Carry this message. Do as your half-brother tells you. He even cooks for them. But Hermes doesn't mind. He's an easygoing boy. People down on Earth ask his protection when they go on journeys. Some of those wild country roads swarm with thieves and ruffians. Mind you, the thieves and ruffians ask the help of Hermes, too. They've probably heard the stories of Hermes's childhood and how light-fingered he was even as a baby. The day Hermes was born in a cave in Arcadia, his mother, Maia, laid him in his cradle and kissed his tufty hair. Don't cry now. You are a son of Zeus and a secret from his wife. If she hears you are here, Hera will hate you with a deadly hatred and kill you if she can. So hush, my little Hermes. Don't cry. In rocking the cradle, Maia herself went to sleep. Hermes was a big baby, big in the morning and much bigger by noon, when he clambered out of his cradle, toddled out of the cave, and met a tortoise. Banging on the tortoise's shell, he heard a throbbing hollow noise he liked. So, emptying out the tortoise, he tied threads of his mother's hair round the shell. When Maia stirred at the pulling of her hair, Hermes plucked a tune which soothed her back to sleep. Then, slinging his newly invented lyre across his back, Hermes toddled away down the road, making up songs as he went. He was hungry. He wanted a drink of milk. Watch me go along, to see what I can find. Hear me sing my song, with my lyre tied on behind. I'm going to find a moo cow, maybe 1 or 2 cows. I may just follow my brother Apollo and round up quite a few cows. All the way to Pieria he walked, growing all the while, and in the middle of the afternoon found the grazing place of Apollo's shining brown cows. They were all bursting with milk, and Hermes drank all he could drink. Then, hazel switch in hand, he began to drive the cows back the way he had come. He did not drive them headfirst, but blipped their noses, and made them walk backwards, so that the tracks they left would look as if they had been coming, when rightly they had been going. He tied twigs to his little feet, as well, to scuff out his own footprints. Back along the road he toddled, singing as he went, and picking grapes off the vines at the roadside. An old woman tending the vines straightened her aching back to watch him go by. It was a remarkable sight, after all, a baby toddling along in wicker shoes, driving a herd of back-to-front cows. Hermes put a chubby finger to his lips, as if to say, "Don't breathe a word." By the time he had hidden the cows up trees, down holes, under bushes, Maia his mother was awake and standing at the door of the cave. "And where do you think you've been till this time of night?" she demanded, hands on hips. Hermes climbed into his cradle. It was a bit small for him now, he had grown so much since morning. "Never you mind, Mummy," he said. Then sucking his thumb, he quickly fell asleep. When he woke, Apollo was standing over him, shouting till the cave echoed. "Where are my cows?" "Agoo," said Hermes. "You don't fool me. Where are my cows, you thieving infant?" "A moo," said Hermes, and chortled. Apollo's golden hair curled a little tighter. "An old woman saw a baby driving my cows this way. Now get out of bed. I'm taking you before the court of the gods. You can answer to Almighty Zeus for your cattle rustling." "Silence in court," bellowed Zeus, as Hermes plucked his tortoise lyre. "Answer the charge. Is it true, Hermes, that you stole the cattle of Apollo?" Hermes stood up. "Almighty gods, gentlemen, ladies. I appeal to you, do I look like a thief? Does it seem to you probable, does it seem to you likely, that I, a little child, a mewling infant, a child of rosy innocence, should walk 50 miles on the day of my birth and carry off like some vagabond, some deceitful rapscallion, a herd of shining cows? Yes, bawled Apollo. Silence in court. And me a vegetarian. A lover of animals. The merest silken butterfly fluttering over my crib is enough to make me laugh aloud at the wondrous beauty of nature. Shyster, shouted Apollo. Silence in court. Hermes toddled about the courtroom, declaring his innocence, presenting his defense. He laid his baby curls on the knees of the goddesses and looked earnestly into the eyes of the gods. He even hugged Apollo's knees, saying, Would I steal from my own dear brother, child of my own beloved father, the mighty, the ineffable Zeus? Hera stood up with a scream of rage. Another son of yours, Zeus? She pointed a fearsome finger at Hermes. For that I'll make you sorry you were zero ever born, baby, then she slammed out of the courtroom. You were seen. There are witnesses, snarled Apollo at his little half-brother. Hermes did not even blush, he simply took out his tortoise lyre and began to play. Apollo stared at the extraordinary instrument, overwhelmed with envy. I never said I didn't take the cows, said Hermes. I only said I didn't steal the cows. The truth is, I merely borrowed the cows. For a drink, you know. We babies, we need our milk if we're to grow into big strong boys. You ladies understand that, surely? Naturally, brother, you can have your cows back whenever you like. And as a token of goodwill, I'd like you to accept this lyre, I invented it yesterday. The court cheered and clapped. Apollo snatched the lyre and began to pluck at it suspiciously. Zeus got to his feet. Hermes, son of Maia, you are plainly a rascal and a rogue. But you have clever fingers and a golden tongue. From this day forward, you shall be messenger of the gods, as soon as you have given back Apollo's shining cattle. Thank you, Daddy, exclaimed Hermes. Perhaps he might like these back too. From behind his back, big baby Hermes produced the bow and arrow he had stolen from Apollo when he hugged him. The jury of gods gasped and stamped their feet, laughing at the outrageous audacity of the child. Even Apollo could not stay angry with a half-brother who had given him the first lyre in the world. They left court together, discussing philosophy and music, poetry and politics. You had better watch out for Queen Hera, Apollo warned his little half-brother. She hates you with a deadly hatred. She will never let you be messenger of the gods, no matter what Zeus says. Oh no? Would you like to bet on that? Replied Hermes. If Hera drives me off Olympus, I shall teach you how to play that lyre of mine. If I make her like me, you can give me, what? Your magic wand. Agreed? Agreed, cried Apollo. You haven't a chance. Well, please excuse me now, said baby Hermes politely, but it's time for my morning nap. He trotted away across the marble floors of Olympus, towards the hall of the Queen of Heaven. He went to the cradle at the foot of her bed, and smiled down at her own baby son, Ares. Could I ask you a very great favor? He said. When Hera returned to her room, she lifted her baby, swaddled in lamb's wool, and cradled him in her arms. She fed him, she sang to him, she rocked him. My, what a fine, big boy you are. And plucking back the swaddling from round his head, she kissed his tufty hair. Agoo, said Hermes. Guess who? It was a risk. She has a nasty temper, the Queen of Heaven. She might have beaten his brains out then and there. But she didn't. They say a woman can't feed a baby and hate it afterwards. Hera and Hermes get along well now, so long as he makes himself useful, cooking, running errands. So he won his bet with Apollo, won the magic wand, too, though he still gave Apollo music lessons. In exchange, Apollo taught his half-brother how to foretell the future. Two loves of Apollo. A god who thinks the world of himself must, of course, live at the center of the world. No matter that the spot is guarded by a dragon.